Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Achieving Alpha, and in this particular video we are going to talk about 10 reasons on why the markets might turn bearish from here on. Now I cannot guarantee that the markets will definitely show correction from here on. All I can do is keep my perspective and talk about some data points which might support my hypothesis. So again, please don't take it as a trading advice. I short the markets right at the opening bell tomorrow. The stock markets are very dynamic and things change here in seconds. So all I'm trying to do here is analyze some things which are not looking very positive and hinting for a correction from here on. With that being said, let's go and look at the points right away. Now the first point is that all the positive news has already been discounted in the markets. So last week, US President Joe Biden announced a $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and also the Johnson and Johnson vaccine for the COVID-19 was given approval in the USA. Now, everything which is positive, including these two news, has already been factored in, and always remember that the markets are smart enough to factor in every good and bad news in advance. So everything looks incorporated as of now. The second point is the fear of rising interest rates in the USA. So until now, the Fed was printing money at almost zero interest rates, and that infused a lot of liquidity in the markets. Therefore, the ultimate consequence was the stock markets shooting up. Now, as a result of this, the inflation will rise, and sooner or later, the interest rates might have to be increased again to control inflation. And same thing applies for India because the RBI, in order to control inflation, might increase the interest rates very soon, which will ultimately cause a lot of investors to pull out their money out of the stock markets due to crunch of liquidity, and therefore we might see a correction there as well. The third point is the rising dollar index and the USD INR, or in other words, the Indian currency getting weak. Now let me show you the dollar index chart and then we can infer what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so here is the US dollar index futures, which is currently trading above 92. Now, till 92, it was okay, but the moment it shot up above 92, now that's not a very positive news, especially for emerging markets. And India being one of the most targeted emerging markets for the foreign institutional investors, a dollar index of more than 92 suggests that the FIIs might pull money out of the emerging markets and then might start investing in the US stock markets, and that's where we should be cautious because the dollar index has now crossed even 92, and that's not a very healthy sign. All right, let's go back to the PPT. And again, the USD, also the USD INR is above 73 now, and which clearly indicates that the Indian currency is getting weak. Also, if you look at the other currency pairs, so even the British pound and INR has crossed above 100, which is not a very healthy sign for India. And the fourth point then is the rising price of Brent crude. So India imports a lot of oil, and therefore a rising price of Brent crude oil is not good for India because Brent crude is a raw material for a lot of the things that we produce, and it's not even good for paint stocks like Asian Paints. And you can see that as a result, the fuels in India, basically petrol and diesel, have been really touching all-time highs and they have become really expensive. So if I show you the chart of the Brent crude, so you will see that today we have observed some correction. Otherwise, for the last 3 days, it has been rising. And even today, it has made a high of roughly about 71.38. So again, that's not a very good news. If it starts coming down, it's okay. But if it continues to rise up, it's not a very healthy sign for India either. Let's talk about the fifth point, which is the Nifty PE getting overvalued according to the historical data. So let me show you the past data for the Nifty PE. Now here is the graph for the Nifty PE, and you can see that Nifty PE always trades between this range of 30 and 20. And now you can see that the COVID crash came and the Nifty PE became almost 20 and even hit a low of somewhere around 18. But now, as on date, the Nifty PE is above 40, which clearly indicates that it is really overvalued at the moment. And this can again hint for a correction in times to come. So again, according to the historical data, the PE of Nifty is looking overvalued at the moment. Let's talk about the sixth point. Now, the sixth point is pretty evident, and if you're a constant watcher of the market, you might see that the Nifty has been showing a constant rejection from the top, and precisely from the levels of 15,100 to 15,150. Nifty has been showing a rejection every single day. So it goes to 15,100 or at max maybe 15,150 and then it comes back again. So again, the overall structure of Nifty is looking weak and that is not a very healthy sign. The US futures are again showing rejection from the top. So I think today they are up and they look strong, but again, all depends on the closing of Dow futures. So if Dow futures close above 32,000, we can consider the short term trend to be bullish. But again, if we see a rejection from 32,000, we'll see a double top pattern and then we can expect some more correction. I will show you the chart soon. And also Nasdaq has been looking very weak and the S&P VIX is almost at 25, which is not a very positive sign. So let's have a look at the charts and see. Again, here are the stock futures. So Dow futures as of now looks really positive. It has crossed 32,000, which is really great. But let's have a look at the chart. So you can see that the Dow futures has hit an all-time high, and the last resistance it faced was around 32,033, and today it has hit a high of roughly about 32,104. So now all depends on the closing of Dow Jones, and if it closes above 32,000, that might be considered positive. But if at all it slides down from here, we can expect a double top pattern, and then probably we can see some more downside, because you can see that last time when Dow hit a high of roughly about 32,033, it showed a very good rejection on the downside. So that's something which we can watch out for. Again, Nasdaq looks really weak today, and it's not looking very positive now. It had slide under 12,500, but again it has recovered, and the closing will be important here. Again, talking about the S&P VIX, so S&P VIX futures is currently trading below 25, which is a good news. But if you look at the S&P VIX, S&P 500 VIX, so that has again cooled off, so it's a good news. As long as it stays below 25, we can expect some relief. But the moment it starts shooting above 25, that's where the panic could increase and the markets might then correct. Again, don't judge anything in the short term. If you're looking at the US futures today and then you're saying that everything looks positive, it's not like that. All I'm talking about is a medium term possibility. So you cannot expect that from tomorrow onwards the market bell rings and you can see Nifty crashing down. It won't happen. It might happen, it might not. But again, whatever I'm talking about is with respect to medium term. Again, let's talk about the eighth point, which is the rising bond yields in USA. So the US markets, the primary reason for the correction last week was the rising bond yields. But the sad part is that the bond yields have continued to rise. And if I show you the bond yields as of now, so we'll see that the US 10-year bond yield has crossed above 1.6, which is really a negative sign. Now, you might say that the markets are still rising and the bond yield is rising, but eventually one has to fall, because there is an inverse relation in the bond yields and the stock markets. But again, this going above 1.6 is not a very healthy sign, and this is not really good. And we might see the impact of this sooner or later on the markets. The ninth point is that the emerging markets like KOSPI and Hang Seng are witnessing profit booking. Now, India is also one of the emerging markets, and in Asia, apart from India, South Korea's KOSPI and Hong Kong's Hang Seng have also been witnessing profit booking since the last week. So, if I show you the chart of KOSPI, KOSPI was down again 1%, and if I show you Hang Seng was also down over 2% as on date and as on today's closing. So again, Hang Seng is looking weak, KOSPI is looking weak, and sooner or later, India will also start witnessing profit booking if this thing continues. Again, the last point before I wrap up is that the FIIs have started selling in cash markets and creating more aggressive shorts in the derivative segment. I will show you. So if I look at the FII and DII's data, so for the last 3 days, FIIs have been on a selling spree, and since the last 2 days, they have intensified their selling in the cash market. Talking about the FNO segment, so in the index futures, they have again short and they have sold index futures of worth about 860 crores. And in index options, they have bought, but not very heavy amount, just a 327 crores. And in stock options again, and in stock futures, you can see that the FIIs have sold today as well. So again, these are not very positive signals that we are getting from this data, and everything depends. And if FIIs continue to sell tomorrow, then we might see a possibility that the FIIs might have started selling spree, and then we can expect some further correction as well. Let me quickly show you the option chain for the next expiry, which is the 10th of March. Now you can see some aggressive call writing on 15,000, 15,100, and all the way up till 15,400. And you can see that compared to the call writing, there has been negligible put writing. So the put writers are maybe not that confident, but the call writers are heavily shorting calls. And that means that the people are expecting the markets to come down. Again, if Nifty goes above 15,100 and 15,150 and sustains for a while, we might see some further upside because these call shorters will be trapped and then we might see some short covering on the upper side. But again, these call writers will try to keep Nifty below 15,100 and 15,000 possibly. So these were some of the points which we had a look at, and we tried to analyze what could happen in the markets from here on. Again, a lot depends on the global cues and how US futures perform. As of now, Dow is looking strong, but if we witness some profit booking from the top, which is the level from where it came down last time, again this time we might come down really well and we might see a good fall. Talking about the Nifty chart, so first let's talk about Bank Nifty. So one negative thing is that Bank Nifty on a daily time frame has closed below its 20-day exponential moving average, which is not a very healthy sign. And if I talk about the weekly chart of Bank Nifty, so we'll see that the RSI is still at 70, so which might display some strength, but again it might be considered overbought as well. So we can expect some correction, and a correction is due in Bank Nifty because it had rallied in a straight line, which is usually not the case. So we will definitely witness some correction in Bank Nifty sooner or later. And again, 35,000 seems to be a very important and very strong support. If we close beyond 35,000, be ready for 33,000 in the short term as well. Let's talk about Nifty before we wrap this up. And yeah, Nifty has closed below 15,000, which is not good. Looking at the US futures and SGX Nifty, we might expect a gap up opening tomorrow. But the big question is that will that gap up sustain? Again, we'll have to wait for tomorrow and watch. If at all, Nifty crosses and closes below 14,950, and then eventually the next support would be 14,750. And even if that breaks, then be ready for 14,200 in the short term. Again, today, if you look at the intraday chart, Nifty has taken up support at 14,950 a lot many times. And let me show you. Yeah, so you can see that it has taken up support somewhere around here multiple times. It tried to go and break this particular low, but again, there was some recovery seen. But in the last time of the market, or basically the last 45 minutes, we again witnessed some profit booking, and it might continue tomorrow if we don't sustain the gap up. So 14,950 is very much important. If it breaks and closes below that, 14,750 is going to be our next support. And if even that is broken, then be ready for 14,200 in the short term. So I hope you like this particular video and this analysis and all the data points which I covered. Again, there is no guarantee. All I'm trying to do is infer something through the data points and tell you what is visible through all of these data points. I hope you like this particular video. If you did, please consider pressing the like button and subscribe to this channel for more such content. Thank you so much for watching till the end and have a good day ahead.